Welcome to the stream. I think we're live. Let me just check on that. I was gonna do this, like, watch this a little bit of the stream just to make sure that it's going. Yep, it's going. All right, cool. Happy New Year, almost. Penultimate day of the year. The last few hours of the penultimate day of the year. We are getting right down to the end of the 2025. So, being that it is almost the new year, or we're getting down to it, I figured it was a perfect time to hit go live again and just chat for a little bit like I did about a year ago. I think I usually do, not all the time, but I think I've done an end of the year live stream the last maybe 2 years, possibly. I'm not exactly sure. Something like that. But I figured it was a perfect time to hit go live and work on something that I thought that I would have done more by now, but I didn't. So what I'm going to do while I live stream and people are in the chat with questions is continue building my Super Chief mega build. Last time we did the observation car, I guess that's the diner, and then the coach, or rather the coach and the diner, or the sleeper in the diner, or whatever. Probably sleeper, I think. That F unit is mine from my childhood, and I've got in bags, or in a bag. This is hard to do. That bag has the special edition F unit that I got. That bag has the RPO, and then this bag has the baggage car. So I figured we'd just continue going towards the front of the train. We'll start at the baggage car. We'll do the RPO next, and then do the do the limited edition F unit. I should have stickers for most of it. I was trying to remember before I hit go live and my numbering meta for the passenger cars, but I think I've got it worked out. I think 503 is the number that I need to save for the dome car that I want to do eventually, which, now that I'm thinking about it, I think it's 503. Yes, it is. Yeah, so there was a dome car modeled for this, but never actually put into production ages ago. So, and 503 was an actual Santa Fe dome. So I'm gonna do, I saved that sticker for the dome car, and I've got one of the other cars already renumbered. Anyways, we'll dive into this. This will be the background noise. Happy New Year to you, Kale. Wish you a prosperous 2026. I'm not going to be one of those kind of people that, like, oh, I can't believe it's 2026 already. It's like, yeah, time passes. What else is new? Like, yeah, it does a little bit feel like it's been going fast, but like the year's been good. Like, generally, like, broad strokes, like, generally speaking, my 2025 has been pretty good. I feel like just because it's already a new year doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It's just, you know, more of life to enjoy, I think. Not to get too hypothetical or what have you right off the rip, but here we are. Logistics Productions 32. Hello, welcome to the stream. Hope you're enjoying your week. I am not working tomorrow. I have time off from work both tomorrow and the following day, so I figured that tonight would be a pretty good time to do one of those infamous unplanned live streams. And so here we are, working my way through the Santa Fe Super Chief set from back in the day. Virtual train stuff, good evening. Wish you the best for 2025. I appreciate that for about another, what do you say, 26 and a half hours. Kind of looking forward to 2026 already. It feels like there's already enough to look forward to in 2026 to be genuinely excited about it. So I'm already excited about it. Got a lot on the calendar already. Got vacation time is already a at a premium. Just kind of the way that those things go. 2026 would be a good year for me to build a New York, Ontario, and Western Mountaineer. It might be a good year for me to do it, but it doesn't mean I'm going to do it. NYO and W is certainly not my territory. Really, I think it's cool. I think just the O and W is kind of a neat little road. Just kind of scratches the itch of like big small railroad or small big railroad or what have you. But I don't think that I am going to be the one to do anything from the O and W. The old and weary is not my territory. I have got too much that I would like to do elsewhere, so that is what I shall focus on. See if I can put the instruction books on my keyboard just to prop them up a little bit. That's much better, actually. Helps a lot. Kind of hard to believe that it did take me such a long time to jump back into doing these Santa Fe car builds. At the same time, not at all surprised because life gets busy. In other news, the grass is green. You know how things go. Just the way that things are. Been a busy year. If it wasn't already obvious, I am no longer in the place that I used to live. I am now a homeowner. So that's exciting. If I'm looking down, I apologize. It's because that's where the parts are and the instructions. I know that you guys are there and doing me the honor of viewing my content for the evening, which I'm glad that you are. If you are watching or watching this on playback or sometime in the future, I hope you're doing well. Glad you can join the stream. Glad you're watching in the future, what have you. But it has been a busy year. I became a homeowner, which is crazy. Didn't quite, when I started to set my sights on homeownership, it didn't quite, I had quite kind of a different idea for what I was expecting or where I was expecting to end up. Did not. Just things took a quite a turn, and just it worked out so much differently, but not poorly at all. Very happy with where I'm at. 2025 has been a great year for me. I've maintained involvement at Age of Steam, maintained involvement at Fort Wayne. Got to go play with 765. I say play with, it's effectively working, but got to go have fun out there for multiple times out of the year. Became involved with another nonprofit, which I'll just kind of keep tucked away for now. Not going to bring that necessarily into the limelight just yet, although that inevitability might be sooner than I think. But yeah, maintained my involvement at everywhere that I have been involved at previously, and opened new doors. Began exploring some new avenues for myself, which is very exciting. There is a lot to look forward to for me. There's a lot of stuff that I know that I have to look forward to. 2026 is already shaping up to be quite a year. A lot of stuff going on at Age of Steam in April. Of course, if you haven't seen those press releases, that's pretty cool. You can go check out the website for all of that. I'll be involved with pretty solid amount of that. Plenty to enjoy there. Of course, that there will always be more to enjoy with 765 and Fort Wayne. Details on that will be forthcoming in the coming months and such as we reorganize. Actually, within the last week and a half, 2 weeks, just got done with helping them out on their last weekend of the year for their Indiana Christmas trains, which was a blast. I'd never worked that train before. It was very fun. Had a good time. We really enjoyed it. Everybody seemed to, everybody who was there seem to be pretty happy. So that is always a plus. Seen that Lego Train segment from I Love Toy Train series you told you about long ago? No, honestly, I haven't. It completely escaped my mind, and did not think to seek it out. Apologies. Maybe perhaps one day I will remember. Just wasn't on my mind. Coming over just a mild sickness, so if I sound off, that's probably why, but I'm on the downhill of that, so getting better. Your weird vibe is the LNN, the ONW, the Western Pacific, and the Southern Pacific. That's a pretty good group. I do appreciate the LNN a little bit. And I've fantasized about building an LNN locomotive before. It's just time, money, resources, what have you. Andrew, wishing you a happy new year, and to you as well, my friend. I saw, I feel like I commented on this last year and maybe the year before, but I saw your, the annual rolling stock exchange in your group. The this year's offering looked quite nice. That's pretty rad. I like that you guys do that. Just a mineral wagon or something like that. Apologies, I'm not up to speed on my proper terminology for British rolling stock and such. Hopewell Production produced a video about McLeod 19 running excursions on the OP&E in 1982. I did know that. I have seen somebody has uploaded it onto YouTube. I have seen it. It's lovely. Really enjoyed watching that program, and I'm really glad that somebody took the effort to make it available here on YouTube. That is, I would love to have a physical copy of that just for the OP&E collector in me. Would love to have that if I ever get the chance to. Although it's not like, I wouldn't say it's like a white whale item that I'm searching for. It would just be kind of cool, you know. But I did know about that, to answer your question, and I have seen it. It's a pretty good program. Kind of short and sweet from what I recall, but some really good footage of 19 on the OP&E, which is a finite thing. So let's see. Happy New Year, Logistics. Thank you very much. Happy New Year to you. Oh, you uploaded it before it got taken down. I gotcha. Yeah, yours is probably the channel that I watched on first. I think somebody else uploaded it since, because I remember watching it within the last few months, and I don't believe it was on your channel. But yes, I do remember. I believe that I did watch it through your channel initially. But yeah, that's really cool that that you have that the whole program. That's really cool. If I had a time machine, man. Cottage Grove, Oregon in the 70s and 80s would be probably #1 stop, most likely. It's tough to talk and build at the same time. I can't focus. Not that I necessarily need to focus on this, because it's instructions and it's telling me how to do it. But I want to make sure that I, enjoy what I'm sitting down to do. It'd be really annoying if it turns out that I was missing parts for any of these, because I got rid of the vast majority of my bulk old Lego just because I pretty much figured I'd never need it until, a case like this where it would come in handy. But if I don't have it, I don't have it at this point. So I did get rid of a whole bunch of old Lego, just stuff that I knew I was never going to need. A lot of old sets that I had that were gifted to me, or I traded for, or what have you. I got that I literally, since from the time that I was in my apartment, just basically sat in the back of my closet, and I never touched them. Got rid of most of, not all, but a lot of them. Just got rid of a lot of the old, kind of dingy, dirty, well-loved parts that I built with in the earlier parts of my childhood, I guess you could say. Which is kind of sad when you think about it in one way, but also it's just old parts. I mean, at some point I'm either, at some point I'm never going to use them again, and it got to the point where in my house that I now own, it just took up a lot of space. So I was very keen to get rid of what I felt like I could. And so I ended up getting rid of a pretty fair. Good, these already have the Santa Fe stickers on them. How nice. Ended up getting rid of what I was comfortable with. And then just kind of went from there. Which was a lot. I mean, a lot of it was just, it just got to the point where it was just taking up space. And those of you who exist in your own space, whether you own, rent, whatever, you have your own space, you'll appreciate there comes a time when, having stuff is nice, but at some point you just feel like you have a lot of stuff. And I have been feeling that recently, so I got rid of a decent amount of stuff, including Lego, mainly Lego, that I just did not care much about, and I figured that I can pass it on to a more fitting and more useful, loving home. So that's what I did. So got rid of a good handful of stuff. Still kept a whole bunch of stuff. But it's significantly less than what I'd had. So kind of feels good. I'm glad that I was able to do that. So far, so good on these instructions. Only on like page 8, or step 8 rather. But this is back in the day when Lego would give you like this one. All right, how many parts does this have actually on it? 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 28, 30. This step has, it's 2 sub-assemblies of 15 parts, but it's 30 parts total. So that's not insignificant. But this is back in the day when Lego would, like, their instructions would be a lot more, I guess, concise. Maybe I'm like misremembering this, but I feel like Lego instructions like these came in, I can't forget what year these came out in, but like say the mid 2000s. They had more parts in each step. I feel like, maybe I'm completely incorrect on that, because I feel like I've built, what's the most recent Lego set I've actually built? It might be the Orient Express, but I feel like that set was like, you're only putting like a few parts on per step, rather than like, all right, here's a step where you're building however many copies of a sub-assembly, or you're putting on like 15 parts at a time. I don't know, maybe I'm kind of way out in left field on that, but I don't know, just something about it feels like that's what's going on. I don't know. Is my talk in February to Age of Steam the same one that I'm going to be giving in April? Probably not the same. It'll be similar. So for those of you who don't know, the Oregon, Pacific, and Eastern, or McLeod 19, or Wairika 19, what have you, it's all of those are correct. At Age of Steam is going to be finished in time for some events that Age of Steam will be putting on in April. One of those is a dedication ceremony in downtown Sugar Creek. You can read about this on the website because I cannot remember all of the details off the top of my head. But that is to say, I will be involved in that event. I am going to be speaking at the dedication ceremony about the history of 19. I've been actually making a little bit of extra effort to compile some information that I was less familiar on more recently. So making sure that I've got everything in line to write a succinct enough speech, talk, discussion, what have you, on that topic. That'll be in April. But I am also doing a winter speaker series on basically the same topics, just kind of a general history of 19. I'm going to be I will be delivering that in mid-February as part of the Age of Steam Winter Speaker Series. So it'll be similar. The one in February will probably be more in-depth, more detailed, because I believe I'd have more time compared to speaking in front of a bunch of people in mid-April or early April. So it'll be similar, but probably not identical. If you had a time machine, you travel back to the end nickel plate for some brick action. That would be a lot of fun. I would love to see 763 at speed on a manifest freight. I would really love to see that someday. Well, I would really love to be able to travel back and see that, really. That would be awesome. I don't think that'll ever happen, sadly, but you know, guy can dream. Gotta make sure I pay attention here. Yeah, nickel plate's steam action by a time machine would be wonderful. Making good progress on these so far. Even uploaded a video produced on the CVSR 4070 1979 copy of that rare tape. That's pretty cool. One thing I really appreciate is media preservation. It's not one of those things that I am like. I'm not a media preservationist, is what I mean to say. But I have a serious, significant appreciation for the people that do it, because at some point, there are photos and videos of stuff that we cannot get anymore. So being able to just preserve media in some way, in whatever way possible, I think is a very, very good thing to do. I say I'm not a media preservationist, but I have like several hundred photo slides, which by a lot of standards is not very much. But I have a modest collection of photo slides. They're all kind of very specific. Tend to be very subject focused. Got a lot of photos that I know very few people in this world have seen of some very interesting things, like the making of Emperor of the North and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. Again, it would be really annoying if I'm missing parts, and there's been a couple of times so far while I'm building this that I feel like I might be missing a part. Because like I don't see the part that I need. And at this point, just because I just said I got rid of a whole bunch of my old Lego, pretty much all of it, I definitely am not going to have a replacement for it. So that would be annoying, but there's not very much I can do about that. Just got to continue on, I guess. Might make it so I might just not be seeing it, and it might make itself known as I take more pieces off the table. Who knows? I feel like these doors are like these old train doors are pretty unique items. Maybe not unique, but like maybe not unobtainium either, but pretty valuable items. And putting 8 of them in this model is kind of wild, but this was also back in the day when these were like just common. These weren't really that big of a deal. It's just how you built a Lego set back in the day. But I put all the doors in. What's next? Ever thought about building a Lego mock of the AFT 250 to celebrate America's Big 250? Honestly, I can't say that I have. I very positive on the AFT 250 and the Reading 2100 restoration. I have no ambition to model I have no ambition to model it. That's just me. Sure that somebody may may take up that torch. Sometimes pieces are connected to other pieces when you pick them up, and it's a surprise. One of the things that I would like to do is to use this random skill that I have of modeling trains and Lego to help a preservation group raise funds, for lack of a better term. Well, I guess that's a pretty accurate term. Raise funds for their project. It's just kind of, that conversation just kind of becomes a matter of which one do I, what do I build? And I've got ideas. I've actually had some conversation about it. Gotta build 2 of these. Had some conversation about it before. One of those projects, oh, there it is. There's the missing part. It was stuck to another part that was turned upside down. Hooray. I have had those conversations before. I guess you could technically say one of them is ongoing. It's just that it's really kind of on me at this point, but I have not able to, I have recently, until recently, not been able to devote the time and effort into completing that project for that group, which it's not necessarily on a strict schedule, so there's not really any, there's not really any, it's kind of inconsequential, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Not that I'm like just completely giving up on it. I'm certainly not. It's just that stuff like that takes time and resources, and recently I've had to put time and resources into a lot of other things, which is completely reasonable. I do New York Central 2001. I would love to. There are a lot of locomotives that I would love to build. 3001 is oh shoot, dropping parts everywhere. 3001 is one of those ones that I would really like to do someday. I do want to get back to the New York Central at some point. Just for a myriad of reasons, I want to model more New York Central. 3001 obviously being a New York Central and being a very topical New York Central locomotive would make a lot of sense. And I mean, I am in pretty significant, not significantly, but like I'm involved enough in the group that owns 3001, so it's just a matter of really just a matter of time and resources. I think I talked about it at one point during a live stream. It's just stuff just comes down to changing priorities, just comes down to resources, comes into, money, time, whatever. Just at some point, the farther you get into a hobby, the more that you learn what your capabilities are, the more that you learn what your strengths are, the more that you learn what your weaknesses are, or your where your weaknesses are. And for me, what that has mainly taught me is that it's just, there are a lot of things that I want to do that I cannot do by myself. Just really, at some point I can only do so much, and that's kind of a tough thing. It can be, anyways, a tough thing to kind of come to terms with. And it just, like, it's kind of tough, I'm not gonna lie, because especially recently, a lot of 2025 actually, I have spent just really wishing that I could go faster and do more. But a lot of 2025 was not go fast and do a lot kind of time for me. In all honesty, it really just, there was a lot of 2025 that there was just no way I could there was just no way it was going to happen. Buying a house is a big reason for that, to be honest. That's a big reason. It's a very fair reason. Like it's also not something that I really have to like make an excuse for. There's no reason to like I shouldn't feel the need to make an excuse for it because it's a hobby. Like it doesn't matter. Like well it does matter, but like it if I can't put the time and effort into it because of a legitimate reason like buying a house, then that's completely fine. So it's not something that it's not something to validate is I guess is a way to put it, but I completely lost the train of thought. But a lot of 2025, I could not spend the time or money or whatever to do what I had been hoping to do because I had to spend the time and money and resources to do a lot of the other things that are that have been just as important. How does this fit on here? There we go. I'm getting there. So all that is to say is just that I guess if you're looking at my 2025 from a year in review perspective, I really did not do all that much within Lego. If you do follow me on my channels outside of YouTube, you'll have seen that I did post some rolling stock. Some of that was new, some of it was not. There were a couple of items in that collection that I actually republished because I had fixed details on it that I had previously done incorrectly, which is annoying, but I mean, it is what it is. You come across better information and then you just make what you have better. I have that URTX reefer that I posted that was new. Well, I say that I built it last year and then I finally finished it this year. Republished a couple of the tank cars, republished the nickel plate flat car for better detailing. I did the Pure Marquette flat car and the kits. That was a lot of fun. That's a pretty good accomplishment for this year. I would say that's significant. Last year I started a handful, so multiple big steam locomotive projects. Big being like not big boy, but like big road locomotive type engine. Several of them, not all of them. One of them, which I made the most progress on, is just out that door, and there's a small table here, just out that door that way, out of view. And I'm not going to go get it because it's not done yet. But just as an example, like a lot of stuff that I really wanted to do this year, a lot of reasons why I wasn't able to put the resources into doing it that I wanted to, which is unfortunate, but also the reasons why I didn't spend all that time on it and reasons why I didn't make all that progress are pretty valid. So I'm definitely rambling, by the way, so I apologize for that. That's how these live streams go, you know, just the way that my live streams are. Need to do 765, all-time favorite US steam engine. Yeah, 765 is fun. I mean, I'm biased, but I agree. And the 3985 Challenger, absolutely. Good picks. Making sure I'm getting all of this right still. There are some pretty clever building techniques in some of these old sets. I enjoy building these. It's like kind of Time Machine like. Just you can, and it's nice for me because I mean I spent a lot of today working on a steam locomotive model that I designed, and so I have a lot to think about. And okay, I designed this. You know, I have to make sure that it's correct. I have to make sure that I put all the pieces together. I have to make sure that I didn't miss anything of my own design. You know, I have to I basically have to run through the design process all over again in my head as I'm putting it together, just to make sure that I didn't miss anything. And so it takes more brain power than something like this, where I can just sit down and relax. Not that putting the big engine together isn't fun, but you know, I definitely missed a couple of pieces because I've got two gray 1x4s that I did not do anything with. Oh wait, I see. Never mind. Again, pay attention, and there you go. All right, we're wrapping up car number 1 of tonight, which is pretty exciting. That's definitely not correct. I say that. There we go. All right, there is the, oh wait, I gotta put the numbers on it. What number is this? 606. Got it. I'll get back to chat here in a minute. I'm almost done. Done with the first car, that is. All right, here we go. Baggage car. I love these things. Like, this is, again, this, as someone who never had these growing up, I never had any of these Santa Fe passenger car sets, obviously outside of the F unit. I never had any of these, so this is just, it's a completely new experience. So I'm having a blast. These are so cool. They're so nostalgic. Like, I feel like putting this together makes me feel kind of like a kid again. I'm having so much fun doing this, honestly. I mean, these are not groundbreaking at all. Like, I mean, they used to be, but like now it's just, this is just, like, Lego has outdone themselves already a lot by this standard, but this is still so much fun. Like, come on, you can't not enjoy this. So, baggage car, 606. Set that one down. That'll go be another great addition, another fine addition to my collection. Whoever said that from Star Wars, that robot alien dude. It's been a while since I've seen Star Wars. Let me go grab the second bag, and I will get back to chat. The second bag should just be, let's slide the instructions in there. For us tonight, with the mail car, I have a lot of parts on the ground right here, by the way, or the floor. So I had to like do an awkward step around. Not like, I'm not that uncoordinated, I promise. Just don't want to step on a whole bunch of parts on the floor. All right, so this is the mail car. So that's what we're aiming for, and this will be car number 1928. The final car, the final rolling stock in this mega build, leaving only the special edition Super Chief locomotive. And we're going to be bearing down on it. All right, we'll crack these instructions open, and I will get back to the chat. What are my thoughts on Lego MOCs of Lionel trains of various types? I'm assuming you mean like somebody does like a tin plate, like a Lionel tin plate locomotive, but in Lego. I think it's kind of cool. Dropped apart. I think it's cool. It is not for me. It's not what I would endeavor to do in Lego, but I think it's quite cool. I've seen a few people take different stabs at that. So I have also seen people do like the Lionel Atlantics or the 242s. Like I've seen somebody, I think, make like a Lionel Scout, which was kind of neat, or something to that effect. I'm very not well versed in Lionel model names and history and such like that, nomenclature. But I think that kind of stuff is still pretty cool. It's just not for me. But again, just because it's not for me doesn't mean it's interesting, or it doesn't mean it's not interesting, or it isn't cool, or somebody shouldn't do it. More plant. Kale had more plans for 2025. Amazing opportunities came along that most of the time and the resources it happens. It does. Yeah, certainly know what you mean. Just that's. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, presumably you being the viewers of this live stream, past or current, as in live or future, you're probably watching this because you're interested in Lego or train content or whatever. But I mean, it's just the fact of life is that both of those things, for me, are hobbies for the most part. And it's just sometimes you just gotta push it to the side and grit your teeth through different parts of life, and that's just what it takes. That's just how it's got to be for a while, and then ideally you get to a point where you can start thinking about it again, and then you enjoy it again. It's there when you're ready to come back to it. It's the beauty of a hobby. So just the way that it is. Definitely looking forward to 2026 though. I am definitely ready to get these 5 locomotives that I have in progress done. They have been in progress for quite a while, year and a half, if not even a little bit more. Building 5 big locomotives at once is quite a project. I probably will never do this again. It's very unlikely that I would ever build 5 of anything at one time, even if it was 5 distinct things, because that is a lot of building. It's a lot of parts to order. It's a lot of things to take care of at a time. Building sessions kind of can drag on at that point. Not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just that, man, it takes a lot of time. I'm going to be very happy when I've got the finished product, and I'll be very happy to be done so I can move on. But that's kind of the big motivation. Not the big motivation, but it's one of the things that is motivating, is that there is an end in sight to it. Maybe not quite in sight yet, or maybe not tangible yet. It's in sight because like I've got most of the last of the parts that I need for it, and then after that it kind of comes down into the fine details like the artwork and the electronics and stuff like that. So I'm getting a lot closer, which I'm really happy about. I would love to show you all the progress I made on the one that's just out the door and around the corner, but I can't. But it looks good. It rolls good. Before I put the motors in, I am very pleased with it. I'm very, very pleased with the way that that's turned out. It feels weird. I will say it feels weird to have that one. Because it was always, not always, but it was definitely a thought for me earlier on, while I was building a different one, was to have the one that's now not done, but reaching the point of being done. It was a thought about having the new one while I was designing and building the old one. So I'm very glad to have, to soon, at least in early 2026, I will soon be adding that one to the collection. Anyways, still sitting here looking for parts. It doesn't help that I just dump everything out, but I just am not one to sort parts. I don't know what it is about me. It's just that maybe I should just get over my own self, but that's just me. Am I coming to the Winter Spectacular? When is it? I'm not going to say no, but it's unlikely. But do tell me when it is, because I'm at least that interested. I'm at least that interested. Hello, Matt. Good to see you. Hope you are well too. Would love to see a 148 Super Chief done someday. That would be pretty cool. I too would like to see that. Just like every piece of it done properly, modeled, modeled as it's intended to be. That would be pretty cool. I too would love to see that. I don't think I'll be the one to do it, but I think that would be pretty cool. Oh, no wonder I couldn't find the parts. They were already in a bag and they already had stickers on them. Thankfully, they even had the right stickers for what I was going to put on there, 1928. Excellent. Okay, cool. EW1891, good to see you. Welcome to the stream. I've been doing pretty well. Hope you have been too. So far, just been musing over the year that's coming to a close and anticipating the one that's just about to open its doors to us. February 14th and 15th, various trips south. Whew, that's tight timing, but I'm gonna say it's a very solid maybe. We shall see. Got other stuff going on around that time. I definitely know that, but again, I'll see about it. Thank you for letting me know. Good to see you, Sam, by the way. Hope you had a wonderful Christmas. I'm gonna go to Amherst this year. I'd certainly like to. I would certainly like to. I've got some good reasons to be at Amherst this year. I think a good handful of people, both in and outside of LEGO, would be sad if I didn't. So I'm definitely going to try. Amherst is such a fun show. Such a fun show. Go up there and anticipate spending money. There generally is something that I can find and enjoy and appreciate at Amherst. Almost always. Something that beckons me to open my wallet. It's that kind of place. Head back to school the weekend before. Oh, sorry to hear that. Well, if I do go, I'll wave at you or something when I walk in the door from afar. I don't know. Announced that they'll be taking the big boy east on a nationwide tour. I did hear about that. That is very cool, but also crazy. I cannot imagine the sea of foam that will descend upon anywhere that it's close by. I'm sure that'll be nothing short of insanity. I do think it's cool, though. I don't I don't want to seem like I'm disparaging the idea. I think that that's cool. I think that that's really neat. I have actually never seen the big boy. I've never seen 4014. I have seen big boys, but I have not seen 4014. Much less let it see it run. I would love to if I get the opportunity. Just that stuff like that is kind of gotta play that a little bit by ear. But certainly very exciting and very exciting. Denison probably going to be the same way with the T1. Yeah, I believe that yeah they've been making a lot of really good progress, and it's really exciting to see. And coming over that sickness, but I'm on the downhill. Let's see. 40 minutes away at school, you better see it. Yeah, hopefully so. Hopefully so. Kind of, it depends on where they run it, but it might be a little bit of an effort for me to go see something like that. I'd love to though. Pardon me. 50th of the American Freedom Train. That's true as well. Absolutely true. A lot going on next year, that's for sure. A lot to look forward to. The guy that I got this from very obviously took a lot of care into making sure that the pieces were right, because these are the old windows and they're in excellent condition. Kale will be one of those foamers at Denison drilling over the T1. Yeah, I'm going to be visiting there at least once or twice. Whenever I get the opportunity. I mean, Aegis Team is not all that far from Denison, so you know. Draw from that what conclusions you will. That's not me saying I'm going to get involved with the T1 Trust, but I would like to go and see the T1 Trust when I get the chance to. And I mean 55-50, that is. Fun time in Sugar Creek with 19 next spring. Movie night at the Roundhouse. Yeah, that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to all of the events those 3 days. I will certainly be there for every single bit of that. Possibly even more than that. Making sure I didn't miss anything. I did know that Aegis Team got 1308 from Huntington. The tender is already there. You can see it if you drive by. The first articulated at Aegis Team. First with more than 2 cylinders, excuse me. The first, the youngest now by about a year. The new youngest steam locomotive at Aegis Team. Not the biggest or heaviest. But yeah, pretty cool that Pretty cool that that's on its way. Like I said, a lot to look forward to. Again, looking for more parts, so that's why I'm face down. Doesn't make for good content, but I never claim to make good content, so. If you come here for good content, well, I'm sorry to disappoint. Making good progress, though. This is where we're at on the mail car for now. It's just I'm trying to find some 1x1 plates. Of course, it has to be the smallest thing on the... Oh, there it is. Oh, goodness. I feel like I had more to talk about in what I did this year, but it's kind of already hit the important parts of it. Hit the relevant parts. A lot happened, a lot to look forward to. Really, I can't complain. I've been doing pretty well. Been doing okay. Hope you guys have been too. Where do I source all of my vintage clothing that I see in shots at Brewster and Pleasant Lake? Just online. I've been lucky to snag up a few different pieces here and there. Not all of what you have seen me in is actually vintage. A lot of it is, not all of it. But it's just I find that online from different vintage clothing resellers and the like. Assuming you mean the actual clothing, not the conductor's uniform. That's from New England Railroad Uniforms. Cannot recommend it enough. I love my uniform that I got from them. I cannot say enough good things about it. I look forward to every opportunity that I get to wear it. And I look forward to the opportunities that I get to put on the old suits and stuff like that too. That's fun. But really, I just find it online. I mean, it's just kind of a matter of knowing what to look for and then looking for it. For me, that was, all right, what kind of suit do I need to kind of get somewhere in the 1940s? Just do, get reasonably close to the 1940s. Just get between in the 1940s safely. That's really what I was aiming for. I tend to do a little bit of the later 40s, but also I've kind of enjoyed a little bit more of the pre-war stuff. Not that it's all like it's super different. I mean, there's a lot of similarities in it from one year to another. I mean, but I really just find it online. Just know what your sizes are. Just, if you want actual vintage, be ready to spend some money. If you don't need it to be actually older than you are, then you can find, in a lot of cases, you can find different companies that will make new clothing that is vintage inspired. That stuff tends to, I'm not going to say it's hit or miss, but like just do your research. I would say some will, with anything, some will be better than others, if that's what you're looking to do. But if you're just asking where I get it from, I just find it online. I've gotten stuff from eBay. I've gotten stuff from Etsy. I think those are the two biggest places. I don't know if I have gotten some stuff from Facebook Marketplace. One of the hats that I got is from Facebook Marketplace, which was an absolute steal, and I'm very glad that I did that. I am looking forward to the ideal chance to wear it out for the first time, because I have not worn it out for the first time. I have not worn it out yet, that is, but looking forward to looking forward to that opportunity. Green Ninja, good to see you. Doing well. Hope you are too. Thanks for joining the stream. We're just hanging out and building Lego trains from the 2000s. You know, having a blast. Thought to make a Lego mock of CNW 1385. I did hear that it's passed its Steam test. That is very exciting. Although a Lego model is not my territory. I do love preserved Steam. I love building preserved Steam, but there's my window for that is a little bit smaller than just the overarching preserved Steam. Sure, someone will. It's always interesting when I get asked, "Oh, have you thought about building this?" And a lot of times the answer is no. It's because that my very specific interest in building is not always, like sometimes, but not always going to be the same as the person who's asking the question. So it's often no, but it's also at the same time raises that, well, what if I did that? You know, I'll think about it for at least a few seconds, which is more thought that I would have given it had the question not been posed. So still an interesting thought regardless. How late is this going? We're going for at least a little bit because I am this far on the baggage car of the Santa Fe, which leaves the special edition F unit to do in this little endeavor of mine. We're getting there, but probably won't go for too much longer beyond that because it is already 10:30. I did decide to stream a little bit on the late side, so I'm not going to try and make this too late. I am not working tomorrow or the day after, so I've got an excuse. If you need to dip and go to bed, any of you viewers, I will not hold it against you. I will also drop parts. Very good at that, apparently. I feel like there's way more parts on this table than I need to finish this car, but I'm sure that that's not really the case. So far, it's been 0 extra parts in what I got in these bags, so I'm not worried. Making more 3D models right now, so the usual. Good to hear. Very good to hear. Cracking open a set from Christmas. Oh, cool. What one did you get? Always interested, just out of pure curiosity, really, just to hear what Lego sets people got for Christmas. I did not get actually any Lego this year at all. I got other cool stuff, but no Lego. New old style hat, ties, suspenders, hat shop near Akron called the Hattery. Oh, I will put that on the list if I get the chance to swing through there. Thank you for that recommendation. Yeah, and much appreciated. Can't promise it'll be anytime soon, but if I get the chance to next time I'm over that way, I will give that a shot. Thank you. One last question. Ask all the questions you like. I have not thought about building the Leviathan. I know that she was stored at Age of Steam. She was actually there when I was there in 2017 for the first time, so at least that late. But haven't thought about making the Leviathan specifically. I have thought about 19th century Steam before, and I've actually spent some time working on 19th century Steam before. Lego, not the real thing. But I would like to do a little bit of not Old West, but like I have a soft spot for like the Central Pacific and those kind of motifs and locales and stuff like that. Just the I don't know, maybe it's a little bit romanticized, but just the imagery of the Central Pacific and the High Sierras and stuff like that, just very romantic to me. But it seems kind of cool. I would love to do that at some point, but not the Leviathan specifically. Architecture Notre Dame. Oh, that's pretty cool. I don't think I've ever built an architecture set. I don't think I have. I think I've got it. I think I've got one, which was a gift to me, but I don't think I've ever built an architecture set. Guilty Berkshire, thanks for joining. Good to see you. Enjoy your night. Camden, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Yeah, it's been a while since my last stream, which was played Railroad Jeopardy. Just left that one private just because I figured like just stream it. It wasn't. It wasn't. It was a lot of fun, but my streaming it kind of detracted of the purpose of it, which was just for people to just get on and play Railroad Jeopardy. I mean, it's set up like entirely through the efforts of my buddy Will, who puts the game boards together and sets all that up for everybody. And I feel like my streaming it kind of detracted from the purpose of it, which was just to get on and play some, hang out and see how much we know about trains and stuff like that. So I probably won't stream that again, but that was the last time that I streamed. Before that, I think it was the first round of my building, Santa Fe Mega Build. Santa Fe Super Build Chief 2 Super 2 Chief. I don't know. Surprised at how many got right on that game. Yeah, there came a point where I was just not buzzing in because I didn't want to lose any points. Still lost. My friend Conrad has won every single Railroad Jeopardy that we have played so far, and it is impressive to me how much that kid knows. Trying not to be sniffly. Oh, mess that up. Not doing very good. Guys, Christmas season at Age of Steam go. Let's see. Pretty well. I was only really there for the Santa event on I guess it was the 13th earlier this month. From my perspective, went fine. I did not know of any major issues that occurred, which is good. Seemed like everybody who was there had a pretty nice time. I did see Josh there, chatted with him for just a little bit. Illinois, yes, I believe she was a car host that day. So I was stationed outside, so it was a little cold, but you know, I was prepared, so that was good. Yeah, it was a fun day, even if it was cold. Even if it was cold. Getting there. Run the underbody details on this car, and we'll be moving on to the trucks shortly after that, and then starting to drive this one home. Getting ever closer. Getting ever closer. Oh, man. Okay, turn this over, put this in. I like that Lego used to give you like actual decals for the underbody detail. That's pretty rad. Okay, onto the trucks, and this car is done. The home stretch on this one. Getting right down to it. What else did I do this year? I went to Amherst, went to Brick Fair, Virginia. Both of those were fun. Posted some video from each of those. Brick Fair, Virginia definitely was not very much. It's because I spent most of that time just being at the show and not recording myself being at the show. So at some point, that means that it means that I just don't record that much video from it. But I had a lot of fun, had a decent time. It was good to go and do. Enjoyed doing it. I'd love to go to those shows again. Well, Brick Fair is, excuse me. Brick Fair, Virginia's next year is a little bit uncertain because of the convention center things, but that, excuse me. Again, sorry. Brick Fair, Virginia is a little bit uncertain because of the convention center, but that does open up the door to NMRA, which I am definitely going to. NMRA in Chattanooga. And looking forward to that already. There's one. I feel like there's a handful of extra mail pieces in here that I did not get. I'm going to have to go back and look through those. But yeah, NMRA should be a lot of fun. Certainly looking forward to that already. Virtual train stuff. Happy New Year. Wish you all the best in endeavors and plans. We'd see some awesome models from you. Got to get ready for work. Talk soon. Good to have you here on the stream. Have a good night. Happy New Year. Alright, I got the second truck on this. I gotta go back and check to make sure I put all of the mail pieces in because I feel like I missed a few. It feels like I got them all. It's just extra mail. It's a lot of extra mail pieces. Oh, I'm going to leave it built exactly how the instructions tell me to build it. There's the RPO, the mail car. You see on the inside, mail shelf, 2 desks on either, or a desk at either end. That car's done. Put that one down. To figure out something to do. So I got like a handful of these extra, these guys, the little printed letter pieces that are very classic at this point. I have to figure out something to do with those. All right, mail car's done. And that, the last one for the Super Chief Mega Build, the Mega Build Super Chief, Mega Chief Super Build. Special Edition F Unit. One of the coolest sets Lego's ever made. Bar none. I said what I said. A lot of parts in this one. This one might take a little bit longer, but we'll do our best. Man, these pieces look pristine. This guy looks incredible. Like there's like hardly any playwear on it. That's pretty cool. And here is the exclusive printed Lego tile and the serial number. This is A9307. I think I mentioned it last time, but there used to be at least a website that, oh, the sticker, the whole sticker sheet. That is pristine. This is pristine. Incredible condition. Oh my word, that's nice. But there used to be a site where on which you could register your collector's edition or your special edition Super Chief, which is pretty cool. I don't think that is active anymore, but at least it used to exist. Man, this is in stellar condition. Fantastic stuff. Can somebody do me a favor and look up how much a Santa Fe Super Chief sticker set is worth on Bricklink? Because I think that all of the stickers are already applied to the necessary parts on this. Because, like, that's the radiator fan sticker already applied to that piece. Re-release of these models, that would be pretty cool. Like they did with the Metroliner. They did it with the Metroliner. How hard could this be? Or see Lego do like the same, like a... Well, this might be interesting. Is like if Lego were to make another Super Chief locomotive in 2026, how would they do that? Like, would they do something 6 wide? They've done 8 wide sets at this point. Maybe they would do 8 wide. Who knows? A crew, by the way. But like, would they? Do you think a re-release would be cool, or do you think a reimagining would be cool? Like a new set of the same subject matter. I think both would be kind of neat, but. Either would be neat. Both, one or the other. parts are in great shape. Building with like nice condition parts is really nice. Being able to do that. Good, clean, new quality parts. Hard to beat it. He's even got the old style clips. It's incredible. I'm having a blast. This is so much fun. I've only ever put one Super Chief together, and it was that one. So doing this now is like nostalgia. Like at some point in my life, I did exactly what I am doing now. That one's not a special edition, but effectively I have done what I am doing right now before once. And here I am doing it again. I don't know how many years it's been. I know that I got that one secondhand. I want to say I might have gotten it on eBay. But it was a long time ago. Like I probably wasn't. I probably was not 12 when I got this set. That guy, that is. 45 to 75 after a quick look for a sticker sheet. Not even picky about it at this point. Just think Lego can't pick a direction they want to pursue with trains. I think that Lego's mentality with trains is just different than it used to be. It's not the same. And you know, the train people want it to be at least more like what it was, because there was a significantly greater emphasis on trains from a different perspective. It was, you know, the greater emphasis on the system and like the playability and like platforming of like you can buy this train locomotive in this car or this locomotive in this car or what have you. And it's just not, that's just not what Lego is giving us at this point. Now, I mean, Lego is a business. They're in business to make money. So generally speaking, a lot of that has to have some business rationale behind it. But I can't but agree with you that, you know, it would be really nice to see, you know, different, I'm not even going to say more, but just like different offerings, or just kind of like a clear, defined direction of what Lego does want to do. I mean, like we've been doing pretty good though. I'm not going to lie. Like the Arctic train came out. The police train is out or upcoming. Both of those are pretty cool. We've had the Orient Express for a couple years now. That's a good set. We had the Disney train for a while. That was a great set. We had the Crocodile. So it's not like we haven't had any good train sets. It's just they've been kind of like across a different few, like, what would you call it? Like design principles, I guess. I don't know. Design theories. Just like the Orient Express is not the same thing at all as like the Arctic train, but they're both good. Like both are cool. Nothing wrong with either one of those. And nothing wrong that we have both. I think it's great to have, as long as it's feasible. I think it's great to have those options. Because I could, you know, people ask me, you know, where should I go to look for a set or whatever, and I've said, all right, well, you know, Lego currently has X, Y, and Z, and I like that I can give them, you know, a range of options. You know, I don't have to say like, oh, well, they only have this and this. Like, no, Lego actually has had, at least in recent years, a pretty comparatively decent offering, which I think is a good thing. probably not perfect, but Lego is not going to be perfect from a community standpoint because the community wants a million different things and Lego can't deliver all of that to us, which is why we're here in the community to do it ourselves, I think. A lot of little parts in this engine comparatively. Like you have to build up the war bonnet stripe for a lot of this. Well, pretty much all of it actually. Takes a little bit of time because you're putting one by one plates down on top of each other. I'm still trying to make sure I'm not missing anything. It's always the one by ones that get caught up in underneath parts and everywhere, and I have to go digging for them. Oh, it would make more sense if I paid attention to the instructions. You know, that would be a good idea. Who would have known? Who would have guessed? Here's where we're at so far. And making sure I'm not missing anything. On step 8 now. I'm used to building, whenever I'm building something at all in front of a camera, I'm used to like hiding it, but like right now, because usually more often than not, it's like something that like I don't want to give the instructions away for. So like this is a little bit different because I'm like, oh, this is a set that's been out for 20 years or whatever. So I can be like, oh yeah, here you go. It's how I'm doing this. But like at the same time, camera's here, desk is here. So can only do that so effectively. To look at the side and see how this is done. Oh, that's gonna annoy me. The name stickers are not centered in the part, and they are on the part in the display model. Actually, they're not. According to this, they're biased towards the front, so okay, never mind. How did I do it on mine? Now I gotta compare. Is mine biased towards the front like the instructions say? It is. It's actually a really good match. All right, so younger me knew what I was doing. Can't foresee the sales of, say, a VMR kit with parts included warranting the shelf space. Oh, I think the other factor here is that building trains with level pretty expensive extended Lego set. Yeah, we're really not. That's part of the thing is that like the community says that they want one thing. Lego, like that's not the point of what Lego is trying to deliver, because the community has surpassed. Green Ninja, take care. Have a good night and Happy New Year. And thanks for coming or joining the stream. Lego has surpassed, the community has surpassed Lego by what we can do for ourselves. So now I think a lot of the community, without realizing this, thinks that Lego should be catching up to the community. That's not the point. Lego, like, that's not what Lego is like gonna do. It's not. I don't think Lego cares to do that. I don't think they want to do that. I don't necessarily think they should, because we're doing for ourselves what we want to see done in Lego trains as a whole. We're already doing that for ourselves. Lego does not need to catch up to us. Like, that's just but I think a lot of people don't think about it that way, and I can see, I could understand why, but it's just that there's more nuance to Lego doesn't make good trains than that. I think the better way to express a similar thought is not Lego doesn't make good trains, it's that the community makes more advanced trains than Lego. I think that's a much more fair way to express a similar thought. It's something that I feel kind of strongly about, because like it has felt like a very unfair, like people got so up in arms about like the Orient Express and stuff for a number of different reasons, but it just feels like a lot of the criticism is just unwarranted. Just the community builds more advanced trains than Lego is the best way, I think, to express that thought. Lego does not need to catch up to the community. I'll get off my soapbox. The BAR Pullman boxcar cost upwards of $100. Yeah, I mean, unless it's like a flat car or something like that, I'm not building rolling stock for less than $100 these days. Maybe depends on the car. I can, and again, that's a very, it's kind of a very loaded discussion, but because it's very piece by piece. But yeah, a lot of the rolling stock that I can remember having built is in the low triple digits, not more than 200, but over 100, generally speaking. And obviously that's going to get higher as you build a more complicated piece. So it's just, again, not bad. It's just different. The community builds more advanced trains than Lego. That's what you got to remember. Still got a handful of people watching with us. If you are still watching, I appreciate your viewership. Thank you for being here. Hope you're enjoying your Christmas. It's Christmas. New Year's Eve. Do you have a name for that? Probably not. New Year's Eve. The penultimate day of the year. All the above. Rolling right through the Super Chief locomotive here. I gotta agree. I'd even say that Lego is never truly marketing to the train community. Enjoy the sets. Yeah, I'd kind of agree with that. Lego does do some stuff with train fans in mind. At least as recently as 2020, they have told me directly that they keep train fans in mind. And at least that recently, they have told me that trains are definitely not going anywhere, which is already 5 years ago now, but which is wild. But they have told me, like Lego designers and Lego, I don't know, executives, but Lego employees have told me to my face on a Zoom call those exact thoughts. So I'm not worried. It's just one of those things. It's just there's no reason to worry about it. But a lot of the sets that Lego has done more recently, very obviously, are starting to kind of swing upwards into the adult kind of range, like the Orient Express, and you can tell by the marketing, I would say, and this is not like a dig or like an insult, it's just an observation. This is intended to be an observation from my end. You can tell kind of which sets are marketed kind of that way. It's because of like, you've got like the kind of like modern decorated home, the the way that the product is staged and stuff like that, it's tends to be a little bit more attractive than your more catalog like presentation of like the Arctic Explorer train or what have you. And again, not a bad thing, it's just an observation. And you know, for what it's worth, we've got some pretty cool, we being the train community, have gotten some pretty cool stuff out of it, including the Orient Express, including the Crocodile, things like that. So it's not a bad thing. Again, making sure I'm not missing anything. Wrapping up step 10, this is where we're at. Starting to look like a little bit like a Super Chief. There's a little bit of war bonnet in there, as you can see. The blue seat, and this was always just, I don't know why, but that always stuck with me, is that they put a blue seat in this thing. Also, I always thought the control panel was super cool. Now we get to the important pieces of the printed porthole windows. And these are in great shape too. I love that LEGO made the printed porthole windows for the Santa Fe, and 4 of them, no less. 2 red, 2 gray for each set. Crazy. Moving right along. I always thought it was interesting in the base version of this set is that you built the prime mover on the inside. The actual engine. I thought it was really cool. Just a cool set. Just it's so much to enjoy. Back in the 9-volt days. Yeah, I would agree. Matt, it's just the community has gotten to the point where the community will build more advanced trains than LEGO can comfortably sell. And it's not a bad thing. It's just that that's the way that it is now. And I think it's unfair of the community to expect LEGO to keep up with us, because I think that's I'm not going to say everybody does that, but I think that if somebody were to expect LEGO as a company to keep up with the community in that way, then it's setting up for just disappointment. I mean, if you're setting a very high standard that LEGO as a company is not prepared or not willing to meet for one reason or another, which, you know, this you may or may not think is justified. I think that it makes perfect sense. Just that that's where we're at. This instruction book is significantly thicker, so it's a little bit more difficult to rest on my keyboard. Making it work though. Snake, hello. Welcome to the stream. As always, it's pretty chill. Just working through the Super Chief build. Gonna try and wrap that up tonight before the end of the year, which will be pretty cool. We're on the last piece, which is the locomotive. Got the other two cars done already, so once the locomotive's done, we will be done with this project, the mega build. As long as I'm not missing parts, which so far haven't, so that's good. Making good progress. Again, feels wild for me to be building this because, again, I've done exactly this before. It's just been a good several years. Yeah, Lego is a toy company. It's not a train company. It's just a lot of stuff to keep in mind. There's one more 1x1 plate floating around here somewhere. I'm gonna find it. Yeah, January 2026 of Model Railroader. I'm featured twice in one of those articles. That was kind of a surprise because I remember the article was posted earlier this year, I think on trains.com, by the same author, and then it all of a sudden is printed in Model Railroader, which is crazy. I did not have that on my 2025 bingo card. I can say that pretty safely. That is pretty wild. Pretty cool. Which is, my friend Nick sent me this, and I printed it out and put it on my bookshelf. As seen in Model Railroader. Which is, that's the truth now. Still crazy. I've got my copy sitting on my table downstairs. I gotta figure out what I want to do with it. Nick has done a pretty neat job framing up the pages of the article in a nice kind of framed display. I might do something similar to that because it's a pretty tasteful way of displaying something like that. I'm definitely not hurting for things to frame and put on my walls. I've got a stack of things about that big that I want to do exactly that with. Whenever I do go radio silent, it's because I'm trying to find a piece. It's the way that this goes. There it is. Somebody asked earlier if I wanted to make the AFT T1. Probably not. Just not on the list. Nothing really 250 themed either, which I don't know, maybe I should change that, but I don't know, it's just not as interested in it as some other people are. Not that it's a bad thing, just that I don't know, I would rather just do other stuff. I guess, I don't know. What about us? What about a Reading and Northern ST40? Probably the same answer. It's just not for me. .643 in Lego. It's one of the Age of Steam locomotives, so I'd be lying if I said I didn't think about it. But again, the list is just so long, and I can only get to so much at a time. I'm sure with big curves that we've got available these days, I could make it work with that, but I've thought about it. I put some actual thought into it. I haven't gotten very far because it, again, just got other stuff that I want to do. But I have legitimately considered it. I do not know why the BTA did not host this year. I have no idea. I would, if they'll let me, I would enjoy going back to be a judge on that. I feel like I've taken home enough awards at this point. But no, I don't know why that they just elected not to run the BTA this year. Got the prime mover installed, working on the rear diaphragm. What draws me to build the locomotives I do? Really, it's just that I build what I like. I mean, you can kind of see the rough shift in my interest from kind of short line kind of vibe like that to big mainline freight and such. Just part of it was just figuring out how to build big mainline freight. Once I kind of figured out how to do that for myself, I feel like I'm off to the races. But I just build what I like. I mean, it's at some point it really does not get any deeper than that. It's just that, you know, I like 19. I like Emperor of the North, so I built 19 and the Emperor of the North consist. I like nickel plate 763, so I built nickel plate 763. You know, building nickel plate 763 gave me a distinct need for a lot of real legitimate, you know, kind of quote unquote typical American rolling stock. So I've started trying to build a lot of real legitimate typical American rolling stock, all of which I've really enjoyed. I mean, I think I said, I feel like I talked about it at some point during a live stream. Somebody asked, like, how long do you want to build trains or something like that? Like, when will you stop or something like that? And I said, I think my answer was something close to I'll do it as long as I'm enjoying it. And that's really holds true, is because I will do this for as long as I reasonably can, as long as I enjoy it. Once I stop enjoying it, just to me, there's not as much of a point anymore, because if I'm not enjoying what I'm doing, why am I doing it? You know? So as long as I'll enjoy doing it, I will continue to build. And that just means that it might mean that, you know, I build all over the country and build across a couple of different eras. But if I'm building something, it's because I found a legitimate appreciation and understanding for the subject matter, and I want to replicate that and capture a piece of that spirit. So kind of a long-winded answer, but I build what I like. It's really about that simple. One of the things I am astounded at with this copies of the kits that I've got are that the translucent clear pieces are in immaculate condition. Like, I feel like I'm getting them super dirty just by handling them to put them on the model. That's how clean some of these are. Think you can win T-Fall with your A5S? That's not necessarily up to me. I said I would like to judge, but until I'm judging, I'm not going to pass that judgment. Any Boston and Maine locomotives? I feel like I wanted to build a Boston and Maine locomotive at some point. So I've actually got a Boston and Maine locomotive, believe it or not. I paid a friend of mine to build me a Boston and Maine F3 based on Tony Sava's instructions, and I had him do that for me, and I paid him for his time and such, and I have it, and I have not used it, and I feel kind of bad about that, but as far as Boston and Maine, other Boston and Maine stuff, other than just maybe the off piece of rolling stock, probably not, to be honest. Boston and Maine really isn't my territory. Favorite model I've ever built? I feel like it might be a cliche answer, but I really am still proud of how far I pushed myself to go with 763. I think I did as good of a job on that steam locomotive model as I've ever done on anything. I'm still immensely happy with it, and I still get an insane amount of enjoyment running it at shows. So I will always be particularly proud of my effort with 763. Freight cars or rolling stock or something that isn't a steam locomotive, I really love the way that my Sinclair tank car turned out. I really love the way that turned out. Take care, Snake. Happy New Year. 3713 would be really cool. That's kind of the Boston and Maine alternative to my Maine Central 470. That would be really cool to see done in Lego. I know there's at least a couple of my good friends who would like to do the Boston and Maine 3713, and it's kind of a race to see who finishes last, or to see who comes in second for doing it, because neither one of them are, at least at this point, planning to do it like next. So one of them might be still watching. And it's not intended negatively at all. It's just priorities. You know how it is. Love to make an RSD1. That would be pretty cool. I am certainly not a diesel nerd, but I appreciate a well-done diesel in Lego. I do want to build at least a couple diesels eventually, but they're a little bit of a ways away. I've got too many steam locomotives to think about before I really feel like I can. Before I really feel like I want to think about a diesel locomotive, there's a lot of steam locomotives that I want to finish up. Maybe not a lot of steam locomotives, but just at least a few. But a steam locomotive is a commitment in any capacity. So it's not like I'm just gonna sit down and be like, oh, I'm just gonna build a diesel. It's like kind of gotta think about it and make sure that I'm clear enough and like ready to think about building a diesel locomotive. We got the lower half of the nose on. Boston and Portland, yeah, used to be in the Boston area. Boston's pretty fun. USD one is USATC. That's pretty cool. Tying a military into it is pretty neat. Being able to do that. I've always felt like for this model, this kit being designed in whatever year it was, I don't know. It was the early to mid 2000s. They actually did a really solid job on the shaping of the bulldog nose on the F unit. Like it's not like perfect, but it's still like it's pretty good for what they had to work with at the time. I have not been up to Portland that I can remember. I feel like I might have at some point, but it would have been quite a long time. I've definitely been in Boston multiple times, but haven't been to Burlington, Vermont either. Maybe one day, but probably not anytime soon. I believe that's an expensive part. I feel like that's the nose done. Miles, good to see you. Thanks for joining the stream. Any points to do 1551 or 1293? Oh man, I would love to do both eventually. It's just that priorities, man. That's going to be my answer for most of those kind of questions, and I feel bad for saying that. It's such a dumb answer, but like I can only build so much so fast. Like I mentioned earlier, like I wish I could build as fast as you guys think I can, but just can't. Just not practical. But I would love to. I would love to. When you spend most of your weekends around them, and you kind of develop an attraction to them, a soft spot at the very least. Making some good progress here. Inching towards the goal. Working on the rear engine truck. Time and effort does bring the very nice reward of beautiful locomotives. I'm glad you think so. Certainly glad you think so. Any of the upcoming engines have sound? At least I want to put sound in the ones that I've got coming up. I really genuinely do. I've got plans to. It's just that entering a little bit of uncharted territories for myself. Not that it's like other people have done what I'm planning to do already. I'm planning to use an AirWire and DCC boards. I have not done it, so it's a little wild for me. But it's not. It's certainly very doable. It's just that I've never done it, so it's just a little bit crazy. If that makes sense. But yes, I am planning to put sound in what's coming up. Some of them, anyway. Yeah, DAWI, the DAWI interface that I kind of helped create. I mean, I didn't design any part of it, but I was kind of kickstarted the conversation. They had a pretty neat system for a little while. It's a neat little thing. I do not know enough about electronics to say exactly what it is. But yeah, it worked out pretty conveniently that I was able to stuff that into my Crusader and into 13. All right, entering the front engine truck. We're in the end game now, I think. Certainly making some real progress towards the end here. DALI was a much smaller company. I'm actually not too sure how they've been doing recently. I have not checked in with them at all in the last long time. But it's a beautiful thing while I had it, while it lasted, I guess. Still trying to make sure I'm not missing anything. Again, like I say, I've done this before, but it's been a while. Getting real close. Front engine truck. Feel like it's the roof and stickers. Getting ever closer. It's been streaming for more than 2 hours already. And we'll probably be wrapping up here pretty soon. It's already 11:30. Joined by the other night owls tonight. I usually try not to stay up too late, but sometimes, like when you're not working the next day, you can afford to stay up just a little bit. Glad to have the company. Kind of glad to get the chance to knock this out finally. I've had these plastic bags sitting on that shelf behind me. I'm like, man, I need to get around to doing that, just finishing these up. And here I am. Kale, you are the night owl of all night owls. All right, there's most of the roof. We are on page or step 42. Really starting to bear down on the home stretch here. Still impressed with how good these pieces, good condition these pieces are in. Like the chrome horns. I believe that's just a coating on those chrome parts. Which, if that's the case, man, it's in great shape. Really getting close. Put the radiator grills on, or the radiator dishes on. I've always thought these being stickers was really cool. Love the way that looks. All right, I feel like I've got a couple extra parts. I do. It's because I forgot to put them on, or didn't notice the spot. There's definitely a couple parts in here that do not belong because I know that I followed the instructions. Let's see here. All right, there's the letter to unnumbered engine. Okay. What number did I make mine originally? Mine is 301, so I have to make mine 27. Gotta crack open the nice fresh sticker sheet. Gotta make it 27. The wild thing about this set is that you put decals or stickers over these curved slopes, which is a little bit difficult, a little bit nerve-wracking because you want it to be even and everything like that, to make sure that it gets it on the right one too. Not too bad. We are in the home stretch. What am I building? I'm building the Santa Fe Super Chief set from the mid-2000s. This is the collector's edition, or the special edition rather. There is a serialized printed part that came with the special edition ones. I acquired this earlier this year through a trade with a very good friend, along with the rest of the cars, most of which I had never owned up until now. The only Lego Santa Fe Super Chief items that I have owned until that time was the locomotive, but the non-special edition, just the regular edition of that set. So this is a special moment to be able to do this. It looks honestly surreal to see this numbered 27 because mine has only ever been 301. So to see 27 materialize in front of me is kind of interesting. Okay, just the big front decal to do now, and then I believe we're done. Entirely, completely, 100% done. Let me put the guys on the inside so I don't lose them. All right, they're in there. I'm going to take that off. Make sure my hands are dry. Man, this is such a delicate sticker. Not delicate, it's just that I want to make sure you get it right. All right, that side's pretty good. That's not too bad. I'll take that. I will take that. And with that, well, actually, there's one more thing to do. What I saw is that a friend of mine who has one of these took the printed, it's hard to tell, but that's the Lego logo printed there, and then that printed tile, and then the serial tile. Again, mine is A9307. He put them on the inside of the engine bracing for safekeeping. So that's where mine will live. The instructions tell you could replace these number boards with them, or an extra set of instructions. It tells you can replace those two number boards. And this is the congratulations. This document certifies that you are the owner of a first edition Lego Santa Fe Super Chief model. A limited quantity of 10,000 of these distinguished diesel locomotive sets were produced under license from the Burlington Northern and Santa Fe Railway Company for the initial production run. A special tile included in each set displays your engine's unique production number. Autographed by Kurt Christensen. No, probably a printed autograph, but pretty rad. Pretty cool. Still got a good handful of stickers. Again, I will have to eventually, this might be a long-term project, but eventually build the 503 Dome car. It seems like I will have stickers for that once I'm to that point, which that's exciting. Well, I might have everything except the Santa Fe stickers on the top, but cross that bridge when I get there. So with that, I now have an AA Santa Fe Super Chief set with all of the cars. There's the special edition number 27. We'll have to do the lineup. Grab all the cars here real quick. Here's my original Super Chief locomotive from the childhood. I numbered mine 301 back in the day. This is not a special edition as far as I am aware. I don't remember getting any special edition paperwork or the unique numbered serial printed tile. I've got a 9-volt motor on this one and modified the center here to accept the 9-volt motor. So the original version has a slightly longer fuel tank because the motor is a couple studs longer than the dummy truck. So there's the powered version, the original, the unpowered new special edition, as well as the mail car. Mine is 1928. Oh shoot. The baggage car, mine is 606. Eventually I'll have a dome car, but that'll be a later project. And then from the previous stream, still got, I think this is the, yep, this is the diner car, 1340. The sleeper car, this is 66. And the observation car, 2417. What a set. I'll have to, hold on, I'll have to see if I can pick the camera up and, what a set. Pretty awesome. Again, I've never had this before until now, let alone had it completed until now. Seeing this in front of me is honestly surreal. Absolutely crazy to think that I own this now. Absolutely wild. A pair of F units and the entire train set. That is crazy. Oh, what a moment. What a moment. Only took me a total of, I don't know, 4.5 hours across 2 live streams to do it. Plus however many years it was between the first one and right now. Yes, it is 9-volt motorized. Mr. EW, take care. Have a happy holiday. See you at movie night. I will definitely be there. Happy New Year. Take care. Playing Minesweeper with parts on the floor. Yeah, just about. I've got a lot of parts on the floor. It's because I've been building a lot in the free time that I have recently. So I feel like I built the roof wrong on the mail car. I'm going to double check those instructions. And they do give you instructions in here for how to light the thing. I feel like I mentioned it previously, but once I got the now the mail car's roof is slightly different. That's weird. I built it to the instructions. It'll stay that way. As I was saying, when I got this kit, I went on to Bricklink and bought one of those light kits with like the the wire and the light brick in it. I installed it in my original one because I figured I would leave that one powered and leave this special edition unpowered. So this one does have a light in it. So whenever I run this, which might be like a Christmas time thing, would have been a great idea had I thought to do this earlier this year. When I run this, I'll probably just lead with the 301 and put the special edition 27 behind it. All right. Pretty happy with that. It's, again, crazy for me to see this all here in front of me because, again, like I've hardly ever seen this in person anywhere. Just hardly ever seen this in person, but now it's all here in front of me, and this is mine. This is mind blowing. Like I know I'm going to sound like a broken record, but like again, you know, I've kind of completed a story that took like 20 years to write. So it's quite a moment. It's quite a cool moment. I'm very pleased and satisfied and really happy with this. I definitely want to build a dome car. That's gonna be an endeavor in and of itself to get all the dome car pieces and build that, because that'll be finding all of the old light gray and the old dark gray and everything like that. That'll be a challenge. Not a challenge, but it'll just be a little bit of an effort, and probably, I don't know how much money it would cost, but just some money involved in getting all those parts. So, but that'll be a 2026 thing at the soonest. So with that, I'm going to sign off. It's late here. It's almost midnight. If you stuck around this long, thank you for joining. I really appreciate the support and patronage over 2025. Like I kind of was commenting on earlier, did not have the chance for a number of different reasons to do as much as I was hoping to in 2025. The reasons that I have for not doing as much are my camera keeps coming in and out, but I've got stuff behind these boxes that is in progress, and then I have a locomotive that's not quite done, but it's in its home stretch outside of the room here in the hallway, sitting on a table. So things are certainly ongoing, and I've still all these parts on the floor. I've got to do something with them. It's just that I know what they're for, and nobody else does yet. So it's on the way. Stuff's in the works. It's just gonna take a little bit of time for me to get there. Just things like this take time. So look forward to more in 2026. Until then, I will leave it here. Again, thank you for your patronage. Thank you for your viewership. Thank you for the comments, support, everything. I appreciate, even though I'm not a content creator, I appreciate the little community that I've got that will appreciate my content regardless. So thank you for watching. Wishing you and yours a wonderful end of 2025 and great start to 2026. Hope it's safe, happy, and healthy. Yeah. Take care, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.